Buddy, Cellini here. Had a request to do some follow-up on my kickboxing videos. I just want to go back to square one on the original video. We just showed some things, kickboxing movements, very basic movements, empty hand, in the air. The idea is that you do want to use an imaginary target. So if I were punching to the head or to the body or kicking to the groin, wherever my target area is, I want to use my own body as a guide. So we're going to stand about hip distance apart. We're going to turn sideways a little bit. We angle out. If we're walking, we don't walk on a tightrope. We walk hip distance apart, keeping balance. So if we took a natural stride here, I took a natural step out, hip distance apart, and I turn sideways to make my body a small target. I'm staggered, what we call a heel to toe or toe to heel position. If you look at the line from my heel to my toe, it's pretty much pointing right at my target. All right, so very basic, we're going to keep our hands up and protect ourselves. Many different ways to do that. Here we're just going to kind of have them centered a little bit, one high, one low. Don't keep in front of your face, someone can hit that right into your own face. Use your own body to work against you. So in this way I'm kind of covering the main area of my body, and if we're doing kickboxing, the groin and head are open, now I just have to move up a little bit to guard my head or down just a little bit to guard my groin. But the mass of my body, the biggest target area, is covered up. Now very simple. You have a jab, which is off the front hand. We're just going to go high for right now. You could jab to the body, but usually the jab is going to be to the head. A karate or martial arts movement, we have what's called a back fist with the back of the knuckles. But either way, we always want to hit with the top two knuckles, strike with the wrist, even so we don't break our wrists up or down or left or right. It's going to be weak. Straight on, top two knuckles, the biggest, small focus, all the concentrated force in one small area. So a jab would be to the head, and we want to use a little pivot of the body, not just an arm punch. So we're going to pivot in opposition away a little bit. We keep the other hand up like a catcher's mitt, always protecting ourselves. Now, this block, potential block, becomes a punch when I go to the body, and that punch that's out becomes a guard or a catcher's mitt. So we're protecting, that's your guard. So punch, and here's our cover, and now the cover becomes a punch, and the punch becomes a cover to the body. So I'm using my own head as a body on the headshots, my own head as a target, and my own body as a guide. So if I punch into the solar plexus, you see my hands right in front of my own solar plexus. So just getting to that. We're in the air, you use an imaginary target. You don't ever want to hyperextend your joints because that'll damage them. So you stop just a little before the joint is locked. So sideways we'd have a 1-2 or just our jab and our reverse punch to the body. Same thing with the kicks, we don't want to overextend. So even when you're practicing shadow boxing on your own, have an imaginary target. So, because if you're just hitting wildly each time in a different spot, you're going to have no focus and control when you do need to hit a pad or work with a partner. And we're going to develop a little bit from there. So just empty hands, shadow boxing, use your own body as a guide, and practice your movements. Start off real slow with your movements and work on your form. And when you get better at the form, you'll develop a natural speed. Okay, so just think about the basics in that way. Master T here, so we're going to get in the fighting stance. He's going to have his left forward and I'll have my left forward. So we're in fighting in opposition. These are closed stances, so we have a kind of equal position here. If we change this way, it could be an advantage one way or another. Keep that stance please. So now we're open, our sides are open. Now we're closed. This is a basic way of working. Turn about for me if you would please. Okay, so we want to keep a little distance here at first. So working with a partner, they can use their hands as a pad. You want to control it, you want to go too hard, but for example, you can just make a little cup, a little net here is just going to make a target at head level for me, one at body, just a little cup there, and you can let your partner, so now you actually have a target, but you don't want to go too hard and fast with your partner, but it's just a training tool. Use that as if you don't have a heavy pad or a hand pad to use, your partner can help you train, and you just hit the hand. You don't want to go too hard or too heavy, and you just train 1-2. You can train the 1-2 with the body. Now he can put one down low and give me a kick position. I can go 1, I can go 2, imagine the body, in 3, and hit his hand. So you have a focus point here to practice on with control. And again, you could pick that up a little bit eventually, but I wouldn't want to go much heavier than that. If you do, you're going to use a pad. So that's a good way to train with a partner. Then it's his turn. So now he's going to go, and I'm going to give him a head shot and a body shot. Head shot, body shot. Then I'm going to give him head, body, and he's going to kick to the front. Okay, so head, body, and he's going to kick with that either front or back leg, doesn't really matter. But it's a nice training tool when you work with your buddy. Don't hit him when he's not looking. Okay. So now we're going to go to another little level. Now you've got to some gloves or hand pads on, so you got a little more cushion and a little bit more to hit with. You could hit a little bit harder. So now you're training with your partner. You got some hand pads on, so we'll work on the jab. Jemmy's helping us. She'll work on the jab now. Jordan is being the target. And now she's going to do some body shots. Just body shot. Just body shot. Focus. Back fist reverse punch. So the jab cross. And notice it's go head level. Jordan, right at your head level, please. Head body. Head body. So you want to make it as realistic as possible. Now he's going to give her a third target down below. So she's going to the head, to the body, and then toward the groin, or a high, middle, low. Very hard for him to block all three. A 1, 2, 3. Slow and controlled. You focus. You start off even slower than this when you start off, and then you just build up gradually. So all kinds of ways you can work here. Now he can keep his front hand up, and at the end of that, she can do a roundhouse off her back leg to that upper hand at the end. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to finish with a roundhouse right side and come back. And 1, 2, 3, roundhouse, switching up. Now she's going to follow up with her left hand to his body. She's going to step in on him. Just to show you, you can make it kind of like it's just the same combo. Kick and follow up, left hand, bam, to the body. So focus, just like you're fighting, Jenny. There you go, and hold. And now Jordan's going to go. She's going to put that target up. So give me some jabs, nice and easy control. Some jabs. Twist that body, twist those hips. And then he's going to go reverse hand to the body. Reverse hand, getting deep. No, he's keeping that guard up. We'll check. Good, nice back, bend in the back knee. Comes up on the ball of the foot like a sprinter, bending those knees. Always bending the knees, staying resilient. Now he's going to add a kick, a 1, 2, 3. A high, middle, and a low. High, middle, and low. That's it. Now he's going to go for that roundhouse to the head afterwards, off the back leg. Wham! And then he comes back. A little bit slower and controls, so we can let people see what's going on. Not that slow, just control it. Smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to go real hard and fast. And he's going to step in and throw a punch to her body afterwards. So just showing you can train it realistically. Same thing you would do in a self-defense situation or in a sparring situation. Just having fun, having a good time with your partner. And now we're going to move into some pads. Okay, so now we're going to train the same thing using pads but empty hands. So we're going to control, not too hard. Control. Body. A nice body shot, please. And a 1, 2. Cover hand, cover hand. Cover hand, cover hand. And now we're going to add a kick in at the end. So 1, 2, hands up, protect, kick. Straight down, please. 1, 2, and kick. A little lower. 1, 2. So realistically, my groin level is where you want that target. Use your own body as a guide. Try to train realistically. And I would come around, boom. Here and cover, boom, and you follow up. All right, now we're going pad to pad. My partner's got pads on his hands. I got pads here. So he's going to go head shots, some jabs first. Some body shots. Go a little more into them if you want. And 1, 2. High low, or high middle. High middle. And now I'm going to give him a groin shot at the end. 1, 2. Bam, back leg. Take your time. So I try to make it realistic. His head level, his body level, solar plexus, and his groin level. So very realistic. When you have an opponent of a different size or a target somewhere, then you switch it up. But you want to train with consistency so you develop accuracy. And he's going to come with a roundhouse. Take his time. But kick first, the same 3, and then the roundhouse. So 4 moves and a roundhouse. Bam! Very nice. Take your time. 1, 2. So even training here, I'm getting some defensive training. So we're both getting benefits out of that training. Pause.
3.
So we're doing drills now. Realistically, if we're fighting, bouncing a little, then attack. Don't want to telegraph your movements. Take your time. Start from outside a little bit. Close the gap. Start with some distance where you got to close that gap. Now we're going to go with the reverse punch. You're going to check with the fry hand. You're going to fake them. Go slow with that top hand. Make them draw up, and then they're open. Boom. Fake them, hit. Fake them, hit. Contact, keep some distance. Close that gap. Jimmy's the only one keeping good distance. You're too close, so you gotta be able to close that gap. Start from way over there. There it is. Fake them and go. Back knuckle reverse, 1, 2. Fake them, boom. Pause. So round robin, kicking low, high, 1, 2. Into your body shot. Switch it up, close that gap. Self-cover check, fake them. And pause. So we'll keep this going for about 30 minutes. So we'll do an hour of this, starting slow, building up, doing all different various type of techniques up to more advanced techniques. But these are just some basics for you to work on. You can see different ways to work drills with your friends, family, partners, whoever you have to work out with. So Cellini out. If you have any questions, give me a call.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.